Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Adam's Life. My name is Ali. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks so much for watching. So welcome to part 4 of my modularization journey of the Lego Friends Community Center set. And I still can't remember that number off by heart. 417448. So we are on the penultimate building floor and module, which is this crazy slide hot tub game room. In the previous episodes, we have done the kitchen, the music recording studio, and the podcast room as well. So in this one, we're going to break down and do the yellow module, and it's been so much fun doing this, and I cannot wait to complete it. I only got one more floor to go after this one, so stick around. But for now, let's get cracking. This floor just absolutely oozes and oozes just pure and utter fun. The fact that you have a slide coming down into a hot pool is one thing, you know, having a little cocktail or a drink with some fruit, and then you're chilling in the game room. This print of a karting game, I mean, the Switch Mario Kart game is probably what it's designed from, and that is probably one of the best karting game, racing games, party games to have, you know, when you're playing video games. So cool that is there. And I think these are all little board game kind of things. I think I'm sure it must be some kind of role-playing game. I think with the name Heroica. That's what tells me some kind of tabletop gaming. But I think from an interior perspective, I really want to keep all of this stuff because it looks fantastic, and I don't think we will have that much of a problem actually, because that will fit in quite nicely into one corner anyway. I think the biggest challenge here is going to be this slide because if you think about it, we are creating one the build to go this way, and this side is going to be up against another building, so this has to move from here. Maybe we put it onto the other side. Either way, I do want to keep it. It's going to be a big challenge to figure that one out. Window design looks pretty cool. I think it's going to be the kind of the similar effect and output as we had in the last building, where this is going to be probably the main on the front side as you're looking to it, because it's quite large. One window on the one side, and then maybe we put in the pool onto this side here and have this slide coming in that way. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to figure that out. What's really good though is I can see the corners are with these pillar pieces, and as we've got 4 corners, but I can see there's another one here, so we have got 4 pillars for the corners, so I'm happy about that. That makes life a little bit easier. This color though, this light yellow, I think I may have some, it may be a different shade. I need to check it. But this other yellow, and then you've got this dark yellow here, so you've got all these different shades of yellow, and this is going to be a tough one for my spare parts because I don't have much of these at all, so I might have to do some mix and match with white here to fill it out a little bit. I think we will see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to building this and converting this into our 10 by 20 modular build. All right, let's get cracking. Let's see how we get on. And look what I found, some white base plates. So I found a box that I did not find before, and to my surprise, there was a bunch of Lego parts in that box. I wonder how many other hidden boxes I may have full of Lego parts. But nonetheless, I managed to scrape together some white base plates. put them together, and this is so much better than the boring light bluish gray plates. So that's awesome. We got a nice little white base plate to work off. And I also had in my collection a bunch of 1x2 light blue tiles, which was great. I think this adds a really nice contrast to the blue. I'm not sure what exactly this color is, but this bluish grill piece that was used for, I'm assuming for the mini dolls when they come out of the hot tub that was attached to this to dry their feet off. So that was pretty cool. I also managed to find these yellow jumper plates, and these were actually from the roof of one of the old Lego store sets. So I kept the roof separate because I didn't need the roof anymore, and I found these, and they were attached with these round tiles on them, so it was meant to look like a Lego plate or brick on top of it. So, but anyway, for this was great because this forms a really nice base for the stools of the tabletop RPG game. I think that's what the set was trying to go for, which was this thing here. So this fits in quite nicely here. I didn't have to reduce the size of any of the mini builds in here, so that was pretty cool. And I had to spare one of these, so I used that, and that could be like a little a jumper plate for a mini doll to stand and watch his friends play the game. And then these two little mini jumper plates then are for the stools, chairs for the video game and the PC that they've got here. I really like this. This corner was actually just taken straight off the original build. I didn't have to rebuild it, and it fit really nicely, which was really nice. I just ripped it apart and it came off, and that is basically how we're going to keep the set and the build of the corner looking really nice, because it fit in really nice against the 10 stud width that I have for the build. So I'm going to actually slot that in now so we can get that nice and snug in there. There we go. This window design was awesome, so I kept it as it is, and it was really nice. Now in the center, because originally the window design goes like this. And remember, I'm working with a 20 stud length here. So to fill out, to put this in the middle, like here, to fill out the rest, I actually just repeated the technique of using the headlight bricks and the yellow tile pieces, which I had just about had enough in my spare parts collection to use up. So I wanted to carry on with this kind of little pattern here. If I take that off first, I'll put that on, and then we can go to carry on with that same kind of checkered pattern all the way through. And I had one on either side. So if I put these here, and then the center window piece to go in quite nicely here. Oh, come on, that's it, you're in. So that actually then fits in quite nicely. And then the wall to finish off this side was pretty much the same as before. Now I moved this was actually linked a little bit closer to here, so I put this, I didn't want to have this, if you look at it, it had to be offset a little bit more for the window here. So if I put this here, I think that works quite nicely. But for now, I think that then looks really pretty complete from a interior perspective, and for an exterior wall perspective, I think this design is quite nice. It just adds a bit more texture to the outer wall. So the biggest challenge, if you remember, was the slide and the hot tub. I really wanted to keep them both into this build somehow, because it's just so much fun to have in the building. Now originally the hot tub was on this side and the slide was coming this way around. Now as I have a wall here actually placed up against another building here, that solution isn't going to work. So I had to figure out how to put the slide and the hot tub onto this side, so have the slide coming out here. So I managed to figure that out and build it in such a fashion. I added these little pillars to keep with the same little design, if you remember, from I think it was the music studio, the Blue Building, with that same kind of putting the round tiles inside of here. And just to add a different flavor, I had some, because I ran out of the yellow round tiles, so I just used some transparent yellow ones just to mix it up a little bit from here. And then inside I had some transparent blue tiles I just added in there just to give a bit of a water feature, a bit more detail in there. Now unfortunately you can still see that it's not fully incomplete because you can't get the tiles fully underneath there. You really needed to have a curved plate piece to go underneath here, then put the plates underneath. I don't see many of those. I think there was one that I saw in the roller disco set, which is a Lego Friends set as well. So maybe I'll amend that later and see if I can get one of those parts out and fix that. But if you guys got any ideas, let me know in the comments how we can make that a bit more prettier or complete, shall we say, because it does look a bit weird if you don't have the transparent water pieces there. Anyway, back to the slide. So I love this big door piece here. That was really cool, keeping the little milkshake and fruits chilling out onto this side here. So all of this then fits in quite nicely and slots quite nice here. And this slide then piece attaches to the wall here, and then the whole hot tub connects up to the building itself. And then that gives it, having the slide coming out this way, I think that looks pretty cool actually. Totally unsafe. I mean, health and safety has gone out the window here completely, but when it's this much fun, who cares? I really like it, and I'm glad I was able to incorporate that into the finish build. Now for the awning itself, it was on a triangle wedge piece itself, because I've used plates already to connect all of this. Having the wedge plate didn't really work in here, so I managed to get a plate from the parts of this existing set. So I found a plate that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studs wide and 4 studs deep, and then that slots in quite nicely here to keep everything into place. So I'll put that in a bit later, but the back wall, again, I'm still going with this little theme of an arch, just to add a bit of depth to the interior, as opposed to just having a boring plain background. And again, I managed to find some old panels, white panels, to be more brick efficient, to fill out the rest of the wall. And the reason I wanted these panels here specifically was for the chair for the gaming place. So when it goes in, you can see you've got a bit more clearance then for that to be swung around, because if there was a brick there, you would need to push that in closer and it becomes a bit too cramped. So I like the idea these panels then give a bit more clearance for features of that nature. So that goes in, slots in quite nicely, and now we can put in the rest of that awning piece, and that just keeps everything slots in together quite nicely. And okay, it's a shame I didn't have a yellow piece to match it, but I think this beige sand color, is it? I think sandy brown. These colors are really not my strong points with the sets, but I think it still fairly goes with the contrasting of the yellow. So if we just tile it up, because we needed to ensure that we have a 6 stud tile to connect it all, so it keeps it nicely in place. So connect that into here. Oh, Ali, come on, without trashing the whole thing. Hey, let's put that back in. And this is the whole reason why you need to have a long piece to keep it all in place. And then this, it's a shame I didn't have the same color, but as it's hidden, I thought, forget it. I didn't have another 6 stud wide plate to keep that all in. So that keeps it nice and sturdy. Interiors are good. I can still get my big adult hands in there, and kids will have no problem playing with this. And as you saw, it was quite easy to take apart, put together, and you got the accessibility as well for like a dollhouse if I wanted like the original set to still play with it. Okay, so I think now we are in a very good position to finish tiling this up and ready to place onto the rest of the modules. So luckily I had quite a few yellow tiles and 2x2 tiles and pieces in my spare parts collection to at least have the same color when I'm tiling this thing up. Because sometimes even this is so satisfying. What's even more satisfying is that everything is quite uniform and having the same color all over the place. Not all the time does it work out when you're working with only the parts of just the one set that you have. But, you know, thankfully, that's what spare parts are about. And when you get lots of sets and you start building other things with them, you do have some parts left over and spare parts as well. Especially, you know, these kind of the 1x1 parts, you always get a spare part in sets, right? So if we, let's put this one here, and we probably need to put in, I haven't got any 1x2s, so I'll just fill that up with some 1x1s. I think that'll look quite nice. And then maybe we put this one here, and we got that one there. We go here, and that fits in quite nicely here. And I've got one more here, and then I can finish it up. There we go. I think that looks pretty professional. Up to Lego quality, I think. Perhaps, who knows. Right, but that is now the finished build of the game room / hot tub / death wish slide all the way down. Okay, let's put this now on the top of the rest of the building, and we're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer to getting this whole set modularized. Okay, so this is always the most satisfying part of modular buildings, is adding another module to the build. Let's put and slot this in. Here we go. Hooray! Yes! That looks pretty cool, I think. What do you think? Let's give it a bit of swirl. That slide just makes me laugh so much. That looks so much fun. And it still has that essence of the original design, which I think is really cool still to have. The back, yeah, it's quite clean in comparison to some of my other builds. And having really a multicolor swap shop at on the hidden side. But I think this is really getting close to the original, but it's really nice redesign from a modularized redesign of the set. Let me know what you guys think. So we are heading towards the last part of this little journey. We've got one more module to do, and plus the roof. So that will be in the next part. Hope you've been enjoying the series. I certainly have. It's been great getting into building again, and I'm looking forward to getting the next one done and completing this modularized Lego Friends Community Center. Until next time, guys, take care of yourself. Peace and love.